Roach Farm and Garden Spring Pig Picking was a great success thanks to all those who turned out to enjoy a great day of fun at Roach Farm and Garden in Dublin. Thanks to everyone for attending the Spring Pig Picking, and especially to cook the carrot, stew the tomato, and blanch the pea for having a great time with all the kids and adults alike. Roach Farm and Garden, a family tradition. Roach, a family name in farm and gardening. Visit us at the River Bridge in Dublin and in Wrightsville. And once again, thanks to all those who enjoyed a great day at the Spring Pig Picking. Remember to like us on Facebook. It's Roach Farm and Garden. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we caught up with Jeff Shepard down at Roach Farm and Garden's Pig Out, and everybody's had a good time eating some good food today. And you couldn't go turkey hunting today and range out early.
We had all this bad weather, but anyways, it's worked out. We've missed some and got some this year, so it's planning on, and we trying to get stuff ready. I'm down here today to get some plants, some salt blocks.
Yeah, you got to keep them coming in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
got to have it.
Now we planted oats last time.
Yeah, and they doing good. They ought to be up thick as hair on the dog's back. I mean, it looks good, but yeah, you got to keep stuff going all the time. And it's a great place to stop. It got everything here that you need.
All right, so we're down at Roach's, and you're gonna pick up a salt block and what else now?
Right now, it's time to put your salt blocks out.
Yeah.
People usually wait to October, but that's when they quit eating salt blocks. Right now is when you need to buy your salt blocks. So get those, put them out. And we're going to, really, I need to get some tomato plants while I'm here. So I'm going to get me some of that from my garden and just some knickknacks, and we'll go from there.
All right, tell us how turkey season been going, Jeff.
It's been a hit and miss. Turkeys are down in Georgia right now. But if you keep the stuff planted on your property, you keep them there. Yeah. And with turkeys is down, they need more food. The poult ratio's down. And with all this bad weather we've been having, I mean, it's been 30s, and it's been hot. And We've had all this rain every weekend. So, you know, on a planting standpoint, you got good water to plant with, but on the nesting for the turkeys, they're down, so we need to do as much as we can to help them. But, you know, as far as the killing of the turkeys, yeah, we've got some, and we've had some miss. We've got some good footage. Hopefully we get to show you.
Yeah, you took Jake, didn't you?
Yeah, well, that's my little son. He's 11, but he shot 5 times and got 1, so right off the bat. So he's had a good season. It ain't all about putting them in the truck.
Right.
It's the experience on the whole thing.
Oh yeah, and you tour a lot of people now. You take them on hunts. So
yeah, we got it. You know, up here in the lodge in Dublin, and we've had some very success. I've been 100% up there for since they've been open.
Yeah.
They got a good turkey population there, and we're supposed to carry a girl in the morning. It's a cancer patient. It's kind of a dream hunt for her, so we're doing that in the morning, and hopefully she comes out and does something good. The weather will hold off for her.
Yeah, the weather will hold out because you'll do your part.
I'll try anyways. I can't say I'm going to try.
Yeah. All right, so you always coming down to Roach. I see you down here quite a bit. Once again, you find what you're looking for, don't you?
Everything's here that you can need for the outdoorsman or planting food plots or just your garden at your house. It's right here at Roach's.
Hi everyone, we'd like to welcome you to Real Talk. I'm your host, Pat Terrio, and we are here at East Lawrence High School, home of the Falcons, and this month just so happens to be Child Abuse Prevention Month. And we have a very special program going on today, and we've got Ms. Brooke with us from Stepping Stone. Hi, Brooke.
Hey, how are you?
Doing very well. Now, Brooke, this month there's a lot of things going on in the community about child abuse prevention.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about what you do at Stepping Stone, and let them know a little bit about what Stepping Stone is and who you brought with us here into the community to talk with our children.
Stepping Stone is our local child advocacy center. What we do is when there is an allegation of abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, witness to domestic violence, we bring the child to our center and they are interviewed. And so we help with the investigative process, and then we also provide counseling and support for whoever is involved with the abuse. So we also educate the public on child abuse issues, try to spread awareness. You've probably seen the pinwheels on the lawn of the VA, and that's to represent the victims here in Lawrence County. And so we are just this month trying to spread awareness of the fact that child abuse does exist here in our community, and we want to do what we can to stamp that out.
Absolutely. Brooke, do you ever hear some people say not in our town?
Oh, most
to where they're
definitely.
just really oblivious to the fact that this is going on, despite the fact that you have the pinwheel out there, despite the fact that you have so many cases here in this area. Do you still hear that?
Yes, we hear that all the time. Lawrence County is a great community, as everybody knows,
Right.
but we are not immune to sexual abuse or other types of abuse in this county, and we all have to work together to stop that and to prevent it from happening.
And you know, and for the ones out there who sometimes think that it's something you have to see to say that it's abuse, give us some of the indications.
You know, abuse leaves bruises. Sometimes those are bruises that you do see if we're talking about physical abuse,
Right.
but a lot of the bruises are on the inside. There can be a number of different signs of abuse. Really, there's no two cases that are exactly the same. Children respond in many different ways. But what we are doing with our Child Abuse Prevention Luncheon is try to bring a voice to the children that have been abused. And that's how we brought our special guest here, Angela Williams from Voices Today. She's the founder of that nonprofit, and she seeks to give children a voice. And you know, children, they react in different ways. Some people will withdraw, some children act out. So there's really not a typical sort of way that somebody responds to abuse, but there are, you know, ways that you can be aware and ways that you can help out.
You know, we're so grateful to have programs like yours and the systems in place, because when you go back generationally and you go back in history, how when you talk about family issues, there were so many things that were hush-hush. You would see that in the little media that you did see. You saw that on television programs, how things were kind of swept under the carpet or under the rug, so to speak. And so you have a lot of generations of people out there who still have that same mindset.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Yes.
And so it's wonderful to have a program like you all, and to, of course, have Miss Angela Williams with us today to talk to the children and give them some information that will really hit home.
Yes, I agree. Would you like to have her come forward now so she can talk?
Yeah, we'll get to her in just a moment, ma'am. We definitely will. We'll definitely talk to Angela in just a moment. But we want to thank you and the people that you all have there at Stepping Stone and what you're doing. And this issue is so important, and we're glad to be a part of it today.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you for
ladies-
letting us speak to you.
This is Brooke, everyone from Stepping Stone.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're so pleased to have Mrs. Angela Williams with us, whom Brooke was speaking so highly about, of course, with having Stepping Stones bring her in. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing great. Any day that I get to speak to our young adults and to share the message and empowerment is a great day.
Well, we're so glad to have you here. We want to hear your message, but we definitely want to hear something about you to tell us about your foundation, of course, and then we'll segue into what we're doing today.
Well, Voice Today is a nonprofit that's really working to give a voice to the voiceless. We are living in a society that 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before they're 18 years of age. Only 1 in 10 ever tell. So this is a very silenced epidemic. So Voice Today is stepping into that place. We are bringing awareness into our community so people will understand the issue better. We are creating prevention programs so we can educate both adults and youth on how to predict and prevent child sexual abuse, looking at signs and symptoms, giving children the permission to disclose and to tell. And then we have healing and restoration programs, but because we feel like there's a vicious cycle, so we have a generation that needs to be healed from sexual abuse and sexual assault so that they can raise a healthier generation. So we have healing and restoration programs, and then also we do advocacy work. We feel like we've got to change our laws. There's great reform that needs to take place so we can bring justice into this issue.
Now tell us, how did you get this start with the Voice Today?
Voice Today was founded in 2008, and I like to tell people, you know, from my greatest pain has come my greatest passion. And I'm a survivor, having suffered for 14 years, really losing my entire childhood. And really, when I tried to heal, there were very few resources. When I had my children, I wanted to protect my children, and there again were very few resources. So I thought, you know what? if not when, now. I have to step forward, and I have to do something about this. So I wrote my book, From Sorrows to Sapphires, to share my own story, thinking that would be enough. And God said, oh no, this is just the beginning. And so really we have laid a foundation to really bring exposure, get this issue out of the closet, change the social norm so that it can be a place of conversation, and really look at placing the responsibility on adults to protect children and removing the children as having to defend themselves, which is the place that we are right now. So there's a lot of work to be done.
That is so beautiful, and you're definitely, the foundation that you have is amazing, and it's wonderful, and it's life-changing. And what's cool about that is that how God takes those pains and how he turns them around for the good. Because there's so many things that we experience in life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's the miracle of God working through our lives and the healing that takes place within us.
I'd also like to share with your viewers, we have on April 30th a national campaign called White Out Child Sexual Abuse Day. And we are asking everyone to wear white for the innocence of our children and to show compassion for someone who has been sexually abused. You know, they never get to hear, I'm sorry that happened to you. They never get that tenderness. You know, there's just such shame that covers it. So we're hoping that this event, this time to stand up in solidarity, can remove some of that shame from the victims. And instead of it being a scarlet letter, it can be a badge of honor that they did survive sexual abuse.
And you're living proof of that. You are you are wearing the badge of honor through the life that you live, through the ministry that you have, your beautiful children. I mean, you're a mother. I mean, been married for how many years now?
30 years.
You're living proof of that. You're living proof of that. And so what you have here is something that is going to transform lives, because there's so many people and so many kids who've experienced this. And it's been so damaging.
And what we hope to happen is that children can get their voice early, they can get their healing early. We can expose the perpetrators in our communities, and we can hold them accountable and get justice. And so really, slowly but surely, one voice at a time, we can save the next generation of children.
That's right, and that's good. And you know, and you're making this this is like a world issue, not just a community issue, not just an issue within the home, because you look at the stigmas where there's so much sexual and child abuse within the homes. And so with family members. So there goes that shame right there of this happening to my family from a family member. And so what you're doing is something so powerful.
Well, I think most people don't understand it is not stranger danger. 93% of the time the child knows, loves, and trusts that perpetrator. So when I said 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys, only 1 in 10 ever tell. And so 93% of the time it is someone that's close to you and close to your family. And the median age is 9 years old. So that's a disgrace.
That's a 4th grader.
Yes.
When you think about that.
Yes.
And you know, and as a mother, I often, and having worked in domestic violence and sexual abuse for some years, I would always look at my children and kind of think about it. This could have been my child, or this could be my child.
And that's the place we want survivors to come to. It is not their fault. They were a child and they did not have the power. So we have lots of resources on our website at voicetoday.org. We have prevention resources, and then we have events that are coming up that your viewers can get involved in.
Very good. Well, we're so thankful to have you here in our community, Angela Williams. Well, we're getting ready to head down to one of the classrooms just to kind of hear some of what you're talking about to these kids.
All right. It'll be exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Angela Williams with Voice Today. All right, everyone, we're about to get this party started. We're here with Miss Angela Brazil of the Early Childhood Education class. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good this day.
All right, very good. Angela, now speak to us a bit about what's getting ready to take place.
Okay, this is the Early Childhood Education Level 2 class here at East Lawrence High School. And we do have guest class here today, Mrs. Bell, our nursing teacher, and our focus is child safety, the importance of child safety and spotting child abuse, child neglect with children that we may possibly encounter or teach or what have you. This is a high school class, 9th through 12th graders, and I'm going to introduce Miss Brooke Wood, who is the director of the Stepping Stone Child Advocacy Center here in Dublin, and she's going to introduce our guest speaker today.
All right, very good.
We are here with Angela Williams of Voice Today. She is going to be speaking at our Child Abuse Prevention Luncheon tomorrow, and she's going to share with you guys her testimony and a little bit about herself and her organization.
All right, very good. The floor is going to be yours, Angela. Are you ready?
I'll take it away. I am Angela Williams. I'm the founder of Voice Today, and we're a nonprofit organization that battles child abuse, but specifically a silent abuse, and that is child sexual abuse. Many of you may not know, but 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before they are age 18, and only 1 in 10 ever tell. So there's a real silence around the issue of child sexual abuse. Voice Today works in a number of areas. Number 1, we work to build awareness in our communities. Number 2, we work to bring prevention programs so we can educate adults and young adults like yourself on how to predict and prevent child sexual abuse. Chances are that you guys are babysitting, you guys have children in your families, you guys have children in your churches, in your communities. So you could be very important in the intervention and protection of a child. We also have healing programs. We educate on healing for survivors. We provide retreats, workshops, support groups, things of this nature to bring healing in our communities. And then we've also worked on the front lines in advocacy in the legislature, the 2015 legislature. We worked on House Bill 17, which is called the Hidden Predator Act, and that is going to extend the statute of limitations for civil child sexual abuse cases. I'd like to kind of start today by sharing my own story and helping you guys to hopefully be inspired by what I have to say, be inspired on a number of levels, be inspired that if there's something that you have dealt with or someone that you know has dealt with abuse in their lives, that they can overcome and they can heal. As a little girl, when I was born, my biological father left me. And he left me and my mother and never looked back. So I was raised as a little girl who felt really abandoned. Has anybody ever felt abandoned? It's a hard place to be. You feel lost. You feel like you don't belong. My mother in 1965 was determined to find a father for me, so she married a man who was very evil. And he physically, emotionally, verbally, and sexually abused me for 14 years. I have been beaten with shovels, hose, belts, locked in hot cars, held in toilets to near drowning, my dignity stripped away, violated in every way you can imagine. I share that with you today to hopefully be an inspiration, because it has taken many years, and it's taken a strong faith in God, and it's taken coming to terms with what happened to me, giving it a voice, not being silenced any longer. For many years as a little girl, I was silenced. My stepfather threatened to kill my mother if I ever told. So I was in a place of feeling very much alone, very much isolated, very much defeated. And I share that because there may be some of you in this room today that have been abused at some point in your life. There could possibly be someone in this room that's being abused today. And I'm here to tell you, you do not deserve to be abused. You do not deserve to be abused physically, emotionally, spiritually, or sexually in any way, shape, fashion, or form. And I hope by coming today and speaking out and giving this very stigmatized, very taboo, very uncomfortable subject a voice, that somehow, some way you can get your voice. Because you see, whoever has acted out on a child will continue. Whoever has acted out on a child, on average, will sexually abuse 117 children. So the next child needs your voice. They need you to speak up. They need you to have courage. And I'm not saying it's easy. It is not easy. It is one of the most terrifying things to have to open up about. Because unfortunately, victims carry the shame. But I'm here to tell you, you were a child and you didn't have the power. If someone has confided in you that they've been abused, that's a heavy burden to carry, and you should not have to carry that burden. You need help, and there are plenty of people in your lives that can help you. If you know a child that's being sexually abused today, maybe a child in your life, maybe there's a child that you see that's had a drastic change in behavior. Maybe there's a child that's been withdrawn or started acting out or started lying or started wetting the bed. These are all signs that that child's in trouble. You may be babysitting that child may be in your church or in your community, and you can play an important role in helping that child get their voice. It's unfortunate that your generation, and we adults are responsible for it, are so sexualized. There's sex in the media, there's sex in your music, there's sex in every single thing that you buy, your clothes, everything. And I'm here to tell you that that has taken away a certain degree of respect for our bodies, for our boundaries. Each of us needs to understand that we have personal boundaries. And we need to not only respect our own boundaries, but we need to respect other people's boundaries. Each of you need to know that you have a very powerful voice. And that is the greatest tool you have against injustice, is your voice. So you have to speak up and you have to speak out, and you have got choices. And today, as young adults, you've been taken care of. You've been clothed, you've been fed, you've been given a roof over your head, but you are about to step up, and you're going into a phase of your life where you're not going to be taken care of, but you're going to be responsible for taking care of this world. You are the next generation that is going to impact this world. You are going to be the ones that will rise up and that will stand against injustices. You see, I am called to stand up and be a voice for the voiceless. And each one of you are called with a special purpose and a special plan for your life. But you have to answer that calling with courage and with boldness and with determination and with no fear. So we're going to talk a little bit today about some choices that you have. One of the choices you have in life is to choose good or to choose evil. Talk to me a little bit about some evil choices. Not that you would be evil, but the choices that you would look at, decisions that you would look at making could cause some evil.
I'll say fighting people.
Fighting, violence, good one. Does violence respect people? Respect their bodies, respect their boundaries? No. Come on. You're smart guys. Come on. Remember I said you're going to lead the next generation. What's some choices? Lying. Deceit. Right. Arguing. Good one. What's some other ones? Come on, just yell it out. Bullying. Yes, bullying. I always say hurting people hurt people. Hurting people hurt people. If there's a bully in your life, you need to ask them, who hurt you? Disobedience. Woo! Disobedience. That's a good one. Maybe being a rebel. It's fun to be a rebel. Miss Angela, were you ever a rebel?
No, I was
Not that she's going to talk about it. What are some good choices we can make, guys? What are some good choices? Listening? Is that what you said? Being a good listener? That's a great choice. Being respectful. That's a great one. Showing leadership. Excellent. Helping, serving, having a servant's heart. Excellent. What's some other ones?
What about setting standards?
Setting standards, high standards. How about moral standards? Moral standards. Do you see where I'm going with this, guys? Every choice you make is a step toward your destiny. Every choice you make is a step toward your dream. Does anybody in here dream? Anybody have any dreams? What they want to do in life? Oh, I erased myself. Tell me some of your dreams. Want to be famous. Tell me some other dreams. Being successful. What does success mean to you? Everything? Going to college. That's a great dream.
I have a dream. I want to join the military to serve my country.
That's a fabulous, very honorable dream. Very honorable dream. So those choices that we make to choose good or evil is going to step us toward a dream or step us away from our dreams. We can choose to hurt or we can choose to heal. Anybody ever been hurt by somebody? Anybody ever been disappointed by somebody? Come on, I'm not the only one. How are there some ways that we can hurt? How are some ways we act out when we hurt? Attention. Isolation. Anybody know any cutters? Cutters? Anybody that cuts? No cutters?
I know somebody.
That's a lot of pain, isn't it? How about eating disorders? Anybody know anything about any eating disorders? Anorexia, bulimia. It's the way we hurt, right? All those self-destructive behaviors. What about depression? Anybody know anybody that gets depressed? Maybe some drugs, some alcohol. How can we heal, guys? What's some ways that we can heal? Church faith. Excellent. Excellent. How's some other ways that we can heal? Talking. How about a counselor? Could that be a way to heal? Talking to a counselor? What are some other ways? So this is a choice that you're going to have to make in life that's going to determine if you make it to that dream or not. Whether you self-destruct in your pain or whether you find healing. We can choose to be weak or we can choose to be strong. How are some ways we are weak in our lives? Choices that we make that are weak choices. Peer pressure. Oh, that's a good one. How's some other ways we can be weak? How about giving up? You ever felt like giving up? I just give up. Depression. Well, depression is a sickness. I guess if you don't get help, it could be considered a sign of weakness, but we got to be careful because we can't always control sometimes things that are emotional sicknesses and illnesses. So just because somebody's depressed doesn't mean they're weak, but it does mean that they need help. Right? What's some ways that we can show strength in our lives? What's some choices that are strong choices?
I feel like when you have a good support system from your mom,
A support system.
they can make you a better person. That makes you feel good.
How about self-care? Is that what I hear there? Self-care? That's a good answer. Let's go back to the support from your mom. I didn't have support from my mom ever. My mom didn't have the tools in her toolbox to be the kind of mother that I needed her to be. So I found other people in my life. When you look at the people you surround yourself with, guys, those people are going to be pulling you up or they're going to be tearing you down. They're going to be filling you up or they're going to be emptying you. You need to surround yourself with people who are filling you up. I personally have faith in Jesus Christ, and I get filled up with my faith. And I get filled up by being around other believers that have a strong faith. That when I'm weak, they're strong. When I can't walk, they pick me up and carry me. Surround yourself with the people you want to be like because you will begin to look like them. You are who who you hang out with. You are who you surround yourself with. And young men, I want to talk to you specifically. Respect the women in your life. Respect your mothers. Respect your sisters. Respect the beautiful young ladies that are in this room and in this high school and in this community. Respect them. And you beautiful young women, respect the men in your life. Respect your fathers, respect your brothers, and don't cause them to stumble. Be careful the situations that you put yourself in. 85% of rapes, alcohol is involved. 85%. How many could be prevented if intoxication was not involved? Let's think about some more choices. We have a choice to be silenced or to have a voice. So what are some things you could be silenced over? How about injustices? How about knowing about a wrong and not making it right? How about knowing about abuse and not saying anything? Not having courage. How are some other ways you could be silenced? How was I silenced as a child? He threatened me. Silenced by threats. Don't ever let a bully, be it an adult, be it another youth, ever let anyone take your voice away. Because it takes your whole life to get it back. There are people in your lives to protect you. And those people who are threatening you, they need to be held accountable. Because you're not the only person in their life, in your life, that they're threatening. There are other victims in their path. How are some ways you can get your voice? Come on, guys. Talking. How about courage? Could you have some courage to get your voice? You can write. Excellent. If today you have been abused or you know someone that's been abused, you can encourage them to write it down. Process it in writing. That's an excellent way. How else can you get your voice? Can you get your voice through art? Through music? If you feel like your voice has been taken away, find a way to get your voice back. So we've got choices, right? We can choose good over evil. We can choose to heal instead of hurting. We can choose to be strong instead of weak. We can choose to have our voice instead of be silenced. How about this one? We can choose to succeed or we can choose to fail. How would we choose to succeed? Doing your best. You know, I always told my guys, my kids, if your best is a B, praise God. If your best is a C, praise God. If that was your best, if you can look me in the eye and you can tell me you did your best, chances are if you give it your best, you're going to make an A. If you give it your all. Don't do anything half-ass. Do everything all the way. All the way. Don't tell me you've never heard that word. I'm sorry. Forgiveness. One, okay. I forgot I was being taped. Okay. Do your best. How are some other ways we can succeed? Achieve your goals. So we need to set some goals, right? Those dreams we talked about. What's some other ways you succeed? How about hard work? Anybody know what hard work is? Hard work, 100%. What's some ways you could fail?
Not doing your work and not doing your homework in school and not coming to school.
Not showing up. I have a friend of mine that tells me showing up is 90%. Just show up. Show up. Show up and be blessed. What's some other ways you can fail? Being lazy. Woo, that's a good one. Fighting. How about fear? Anybody here have a fear of failure? Fear, false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. False evidence appearing real. Press in and press through that fear. Don't ever let fear stop you. I'm running out of boardroom. We got one more. How about making a choice to be a leader or to be a follower? How about that one? And what are you? You're a leader now? And who do we want to follow? We absolutely want to follow Jesus. Amen, sister. Who do we want to follow? Do we want to follow someone with integrity? We want to follow someone when they tell us and give us their word. We can take that word to the bank, that we know that they're honest, that they act in integrity, that they do what they say they're going to do? Or do we want to follow somebody that's going to let us down all the time? Walk out your life as a leader. Walk out your life with integrity and honor and respect. Let people know that they can count on you and they can count on your word. Because we need good leaders rising up and fighting the injustices of this world. Because there are a lot of injustices. I just want to tell you guys that there is no dream too big that you can't accomplish, no matter what you've been through in your life. And I hope today that I am living proof of that. I have written a book, From Sorrows to Sapphires. And you guys can download it free on my website, AngelaKWilliams.com. And I'm going to gift one for your teacher that your class can borrow. Never in a million years did I think I could write a book, but I dreamed I could. I dreamed I could, and then I did it. I dreamed I was going to be on CNN News. Guess what? I was on CNN. Thank you. I dreamed I was going to have a nonprofit organization, Voice Today, that would rise up and battle child sexual abuse. Guess what? I did it. I dreamed I was going to have a happy family, a wonderful husband, 2 great children. Guess what? I did it. Thank you. I don't say that to be boastful. I say to encourage you that you have a voice. And your voice is the most powerful tool you have to stand up and to fight injustices for yourself and to others. Your voice is the strongest tool you have to make the kind of choices in your life that are going to lead you to your dream. We've talked about choices for good or evil, to hurt or to heal, to be weak or strong, to be silenced or have a voice, to succeed or fail, to be a leader or a follower. Today, I want to leave you with you will lead the next generation. And I want to leave you with a question in how are you going to lead? Voice Today is a nonprofit organization that needs your voice. We have a day called Whiteout Child Sexual Abuse Day on April 30th, and we're asking everyone to stand up and wear white, to take pictures of selfies and put them on your Facebook page, tag us at Voice Today, friend us at Voice Today. You'll have my business card. If there's any questions you have from today, then I would love to hear from you, and I'm going to open it up for the next few minutes for questions. Do any of you guys have any questions for me? Any questions about child sexual abuse? Any questions about running a nonprofit, being an author, speaking, being on TV? Any questions? I must have done a great job. What gave me the strength to trust men again? Trusting myself. Really understanding that it was up to me to have strong boundaries, and it was up to me to have a voice, and it was up to me to be very vocal about what I would accept in my life and what I wouldn't accept. So I had to learn to trust myself before I could trust anybody else. I'm here with Tanaya and Samantha. Tanaya, can you tell me what you got out of the program today?
I learned that no matter what happens to someone in life, if you have a voice, you will be able to conquer anything, and just keep faith in your family, and you'll achieve anything in life.
Is there anything that specially spoke to you personally that you'll carry forward in your life?
No, ma'am.
Samantha, what about you? What did you think about today's program?
I learned that if someone's getting bullied and stuff, you should not be afraid to talk to someone you trust, because I bet they've been to the same stuff and they would always help you with bullying and stuff.
We are proud of both of you young women, and we know that you're going to go forward and be advocates in your community for children.
Angela, that was such a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Do you do this stuff all the time?
When I get an audience and I'm speaking, yes, I have just a heart and a passion to share the message and to empower people with a strong voice.
And it was such a wonderful message. You know, you have a group of teenagers here, mostly girls, and they're just staring at you, but they're taking it in. They're taking it in.
Say I'm a farmer and I'm just planting the seeds, and hopefully someone will come behind me and do the watering, and they'll sprout.
And God is going to provide the increase. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you have received something from this program. It's been very wonderful. A lot of information, a lot of preventative things. And thank you for speaking from your heart.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. That's all the time we have for Real Talk. And please keep watching.